Good afternoon from beautiful rainy Tulalip, Washington. It's about 1 p.m. on Sunday. Just thought we'd do a little video on propagation, talking about earlier. Trying my selfie stick. I don't even know if you can see that very well, but we're going to try anyway. So, anyways, this is stem cuttings, and this little setup here, this is, you don't have room for a greenhouse or a legitimate one. I don't really either. Mine's just kind of big and plastic outside, but inside it's a different story. You can do this outside too. These are called 1020 trays. Pretty standard in the industry. That's what they like to use. You need some of those. Heat mats are very helpful, and then some sort of humidity dome. The bigger the better. You know, you want to be able to grow things. And this setup is for stem cuttings, seeds, whatever you want. I'm really liking this right here. And you can, when you go to buy plants, you always get these and you throw them away. Well, you don't need to. You can use them over and over. And you can also, certain places like to give you these free or just trade them out. So we got one of those. And like I said, they fit pretty well. You can get, 36 plants in here. So here's 6, and we're going to set this stuff aside for a second. We need a little bit more room here. Oh, hopefully it's going pretty well. And there's a couple more things we're going to need, unfortunately, but that's just how it is. So, for my mix here, when you're rooting stuff, and this does work for seeds too. I almost like something like more of a moss or some sort of soil for seeds. However, for stem cuttings, in our horticulture class, we use purely perlite, but I don't know if that's actually the best thing. It's very porous, so roots can grow, but actually I like to mix a bit of peat moss with it. It holds moisture, and yeah, so it gives them some porousness and moisture retention, because perlite doesn't really retain moisture very well. So we're going to just fill up these guys to about the top here. I don't know if you can see this or not, but we're going to do it anyways. Okay. You guys are playing fantasy football out there. Hopefully your teams are doing well. I'm getting smashed like every time, but whatever. It is what it is. It's fun. I don't play for money because I would lose a lot of money. So, yeah. Okay, that was pretty well here. All right. So now we got that tray, and another thing you're gonna want is pencil. Pencil's really good. You can stick stems in here. So if you just go ahead and make a hole first, that's gonna make your life easier. So just go ahead and get that out of the way. And let's see what's next. All right. So before we get cutting, there's one more thing that you don't need, but I highly recommend, and it is rooting hormone. And rooting hormone contains auxins. They're a natural hormone found in the meristemic tissues or stems. And yeah, this is just more of that. So you can go online and you can buy this stuff. There's stuff like, it says it's all natural, there's this or that, whatever. Plant doesn't care where it gets its nutrients. This is auxins, and that's what it needs. So it doesn't need all that other weird stuff they try to sell you. But anyway, so this is strength 1. This is good for herbaceous. It'd be really good for this fuchsia. However, a friend gave me some 3. This just contains, it's a little more concentrated auxins, and they generally have 1, 3, and 8. Friend gave me 3, and then another friend who has her own greenhouse or nursery and all that says she doesn't use anything less than 3. So we're gonna go with that. The cannon went off. I imagine the Seahawks just won. So go Hawks! All right. So when you're cutting these things, fuchsias are really easy, and a lot of other things. Members of the mint family, like coleus, they are pretty similar to this too, how they grow. And you'll see they have these nodes, and in these nodes, leaves come out. Hopefully you can see that. So let's try to find a good spot here. We're going to take this one, wherever it goes. It's a new plant, so you hate to cut it, but you're going to cut it. So you just want to, there's these nodes where it comes out. So if you can just cut right above one of those, A little bit longer is better. I like to 4-inch stem. This gives you a little bit of room to work with. You know, it's no big deal anyways. The plant's just going to grow back. So that's a little longer than I like, but you see it's got a bloom on it here. It's going to waste its energy on that. You don't want it blooming quite yet. That's why I'm using this plant. These are much easier to do when it's not blooming. So yeah, just kind of remove these leaves. You can use snips, you can pinch them off. I kind of am finding the best way, and you want to leave about 4 or 5 on the top, that's it. Just kind of run your hand down there, and now you've got it all off there. Now these nodes are exposed. This is where the growth comes from, anywhere on it. So, and they're, what is it, totiopotent. They could become any part of the plant. So now this has gone from a branch to basically the main stem. So you want a couple, at the bottom of your cut, you want a couple of these nodes here where the leaves came out. I have my snips. And so, yeah, I got two nodes. I don't know if you can see them. They're really small. They're right there. More cannons, so everyone's happy. Yeah, a little water's always nice. But what you want to do is take that stem, and on those nodes, get some of your rooting hormone. Rooting hormone right into your medium, which is peat moss and perlite in this case. You can use all kinds of stuff, but I recommend a perlite or something vermiculite, something that's really porous, a volcanic rock. Careful with perlite too, though. If you get it, it's really dusty. Do not breathe that dust, get it wet, and then it's perfectly safe to use. So now we've got that. We're going to take it and we're going to put it in the old 1020 tray here. So the reason you want to use a heat mat is to stimulate growth at the bottom of the plant. So you want your heat mat down, your 1020 tray on it. Heat mats are made just for them. They're like $7. You got to watch it. They can get too hot. So I use a timer on mine. It's pretty cheap to get a little outlet timer. Yeah, and just like that. And check the moisture regularly. I don't even mind if I have a little bit of standing water in there, as they'll absorb it from down below. This will get a lot of condensation in it, so I wipe out that condensation. And, you just give it a little bit of time, maybe a couple weeks, and you just kind of pull on it. It doesn't come out very easily. It may have some roots. You can also, a good way to do it is keep your eye on the bottom of here. If roots start shooting out of there, you're probably ready for a bigger container. Anyways, that's about it. I was going to bring an example of ones that we have done, but this video's gotten really long, so we're going to just leave it at that today. Anyways, yeah, I'm sure a bunch of people probably won't watch this. It's kind of long, but if you're curious about this, you like to do this stuff, hit me up. I do this all the time. So, you guys have a great day. Love you. Talk to you soon.